Hey everyone, I'm Zach from World of Game Design, and I'm here to help you decide if Mothership First Edition is the game for you. The goal here is to give you enough of an idea about the game, its themes, and mechanics to make a somewhat informed decision on whether or not you want to give it a go. So, what is Mothership 1E? Well, from Tuesday Night Games, Mothership is a sci-fi horror role-playing game where you and your crew try to survive in the most inhospitable environments in the universe. Outer space. You'll excavate dangerous derelict spacecraft, explore strange unknown worlds, exterminate hostile alien life, and examine the horrors that encroach upon your every move. What other games is Mothership like? Well, it's a lot like the Alien RPG by Free League. I would almost call Mothership the precursor to the Alien RPG in some ways. They play very similar. Also, life is cheap here, so I can point towards Morkborg and other deadly systems as similarities. It's also a D100 or percentile-based system, so you'll be getting vibes from Call of Cthulhu, Zweihander, and other percentile-based systems, but on a much simpler scale. If you like the following elements, you should play Mothership. Rules light and threat-heavy roleplay. This game is very atmospheric, and it draws on the attitude and themes over mechanics to present this, for the most part. That being said, the second bullet would be stress and panic. If you like the idea, who doesn't, of being stressed to the point of panic or insanity, this might be the system for you. By allowing for a couple of dehabilitations that aren't just damage, your character can be pushed to the edge much more often. Think in D&D terms, right? We have our hit points, and pretty much that's the way we know how healthy our character is. Yeah, the lower we are in that scale, that's basically how it's determined. But what if there was actually 3 scales, not just your body or your hit points, but also your sanity and your panic or stress level that all factored into how well your character could function? That's what this game does really well. The other thing is it's really good with really short adventures. Most of the content out there isn't for massive campaigns. You can play through a great Mothership story in a session or two, which I really appreciate. Also, this game has meaningful, random tables that dramatically influence the story. From wounds to weapons, there's several systems that allow for a wide band of possibilities within every roll, meaning that the game will often take a turn that no one expects. If you don't like these next elements, you shouldn't play Mothership First Edition. First off, character death. One of the core notes at the beginning of the book is, you should expect characters to die. Right next to that note is the second bullet that might turn you off. Heavy violence. The book states, you should expect violence to be awful in this game. And it is. I'll add 2 more notes. Horror. That kind of goes along with violence, but this is a horror game, and while folks at the table should work together to avoid triggers for different people, you should expect to be put in uncomfortable and difficult situations pretty much every session. Finally, if you're the type of RPG player that likes your character to have a lot of unique abilities, this probably isn't the game for you. Most uniqueness is going to come through roleplay and through the acquisition of special items. All right, let's move on to currency score. Ease of access is our first scoring method. In ease of access, we're going to give it 3 of 5, but wait, let's do 5 of 5 credits. Right now, you can only get the beta version, and it's free / pay what you want on DriveThruRPG. There's been a beta version of this game out for years, and it's very popular. That's pretty great, but the beta version has some significant differences from 1E. You can also find the work-in-progress 1E updated rules on the Tuesday Night Games Discord, or the Mothership Discord, which is handy, but you have to know where to look. All that said, they've already said the core book, the player's book, will be available as pay-what-you-want on DriveThru around November of 2022. So once that happens, I see no reason why this can't have the full points here. Content, we're going to give it 3 of 5 credits. Okay, so this one's a little tricky since the core book is actually pitched as a player's guide, and while the beta version has been out for forever, and Mothership is very popular, the first edition of the rules really isn't even available yet. So while having the player's guide as the core book works just fine, what it means is that you're going to need to snag another book or two to get some adventures and creatures to throw at the party. I'd have liked to have seen a few sample monsters and or encounters just to make it an all-in-one package. That said, I think this is a great book and it's going to be just fine for all the players out there. System. We're going to do 4 of 5 credits here. I adore this system for its simplicity and directness. The character sheet is probably the best presentation of character creation out there in any system, and I really dig the skill tree and the focus on sanity and fear, and the idea of how they express wounds and how you take more than just damage, but lasting effects from certain checkpoints in that damage. It's all awesome. So 4 or 5 on that. On theme, we're also going to go with 4 or 5 credits. This book screams the Alien franchise, but in reality, it has the capacity to explore far beyond that. There's a lot of third-party adventures and supplements out there that really push the boundary of its themes, but really it sticks pretty tight to sci-fi survival horror. My only knock here is that we have a handful of systems that deal with this theme as well. So if you're looking for systems that present unique themes, this has got a couple other things that it's playing against. Finally, we have support. 5 of 5 credits here. Not only is the player's handbook basically free, but it also has a robust third-party creator community, and Tuesday Night Games kicks out a good collection of supplements themselves. You're going to be able to find Mothership stuff being kickstarted all the time on different other platforms like DriveThruRPG. It's just out there like crazy. It's also available, or at least a lot of it is, on Roll20, so I really can't find anything to complain about here. Final haul. Out of 25 possible credits, Mothership 1E nets 21. A very, very, very reasonable haul. If you like this video, consider subscribing to our channel. We have a lot of great content and different playlists, all centered around getting you into more RPGs and making those games better. You can also check out our website at www.wogdworldofgamedesign.com for our very own published content. Heck, we've even have our own Mothership product line called Scrap Rats over there in our web store. Scrap Rats makes Mothership even more dirty and deadly as you play scrappers scouring the galaxy. Links are going to be down in the show notes, and you're looking for a book that looks just like this, because it's done. Finally, we have a podcast. It's called Geeks Can't, and it features myself and a couple of Yahoo buddies chatting about topics that came up at our gaming tables, Kickstarters, RPG news, and interviewing creators by the dozens. Go give us a listen if podcasts are your thing. You can also find live recordings, video recordings of those episodes over here on our YouTube channel, and we record them each and every week on Twitch. Until then, we'll see you next time.